The following video is about the classification of hydraulic valve. Hydraulic valve is a device that opens, closes, or modulates the flow of water in the pipe where it is installed, using the all energy of water flow through it. The hydraulic valve is usually composed of three main parts: the basic valve or body, that is the element that opens, closes, or modulates the flow of water. One or more riders command responsible for basic valve. The control circuit that includes protection filter, manual keys, control devices, etc. In connection of all these elements with the basic valve, the drivers in the network. Piston valve. The piston valves regulate the flow with less pressure drop than any valve that regulates. Some advantage: zero leak case, special seal system reversibles, online maintenance. Don't need to disassemble the valve from the line of work because its design allows us maneuvers seamlessly inside and outside. This representing savings of time and money. Minimal maintenance and long-term. The radial seal system and higher resistance to abrasion ensure that parts are long-term maintenance, so costs are minimal. Versatile installation. Can be installed horizontally, vertically, diagonally, or line demand. Diaphragm valve. Diaphragm valves are made of multiple turns and closing by means of a flexible diaphragm subject to a compressor. When the valve steam lowers the compressor, diaphragm produces sealing and cut of circulation. Recommended for service with fully open or fully closed. Your choice of strangulation. For service with low operating pressures. Advantage: low cost, no gaskets, no possibility of steam leakage, immunity to clogging, corrosion, and gum formation in circulation product. Disadvantage: diaphragm susceptible to wear, high torque to close with the pipe full. Check valve. The essential function of a check valve is prevent fluid flow in one direction. Recommended for when there are frequent changes of flow in the pipe, for use with glow valves and angle butterfly, plug, valve, diaphragm, or clamping. For use when the pressure drop across the valve is not a problem. When you need minimal resistance to movement in the pipe. Advantage: tour of the disc minimum to fully open position, fast acting. The body design lends itself to installation of various types of line seats. Less expensive when needed, corrosion resistance, fast. Simplicity of design allows it with large diameters. Can be installed in virtually any position. Safety valve. This type of valve used to control pressures in line or equipment, preventing damage to road people and equipment due to excessive pressure, or conversely by vacuum. The drive of this type of valve is automatic and autonomous, not. Safety valve. This type of valve used to control pressure in lines or equipment, preventing damage to road people and equipment due to excessive pressure, or conversely by vacuum. The drive of this type of valve is automatic and not needs external signals for operation. Its design is based on a simple and reliable mechanism such as a spring pressure to stem the movement of more complicated systems running more prone to failure. Pressure reducing valve. Valves are piloted and autonomous vehicles that do not require an external signal that the pipe. Pressure reducing valves can reduce, as its name indicates, the pressure of the network. This type of valve that will act allows us to reduce the pressure of the fluid of steam to a value established by gas. Operation is automatic, requiring only be set at a set point pressure value to be achieved by adjusting a spring. His performance will be to cause physical expansion of the gas stream of step up the set pressure. Reducing valve's constant outlet pressure is used to maintain the outlet pressure at given valve, irrespective of the value of pressure which take up water. Therefore, these valves are also called regulatory reducing valve. Pressure valve maintainer, or pressure sustaining valve. This valve maintains a constant pressure upstream and present independently of pressure change or flow which may occur in conjunction with it is installed. There are other names for pressure sustaining valve, and this can cause confusion. These valves are also called pressure maintainer valve, upstream, or relief or security, etc. The use of pressure valve maintainer has the following advantage: no need to carry bulky expropriation to wheel pumping station or water towers to wind network. The installation of the valves can be done fairly quickly. You can always change the setting of the valve.
Drain valves. After draining, allow irrigation pipes, thus avoiding the formation of precipitates and deposits of microorganisms. Basically, consists of a spring that is kept closed while pressure exists in the network. Check valves drains. Prevent the drain pipe through emitters placed at low points. Float valves. cut off the water when the level has reached a certain height. They are intense for filling the volume. Foot valve is a particular case of a check valve which is installed in the base of the suction pipe to prevent emptying, and which must be filled with water for its operation. It is a type of a check valve installed at the end of the suction line of the pump. Have the function of maintaining the suction pump spring when the water level to allow to prevent to operate correctly. The inlet valve is usually protected with a filter to prevent ingress of pouring elements which might exist in the water drawn. Air valves or vacuum. Air valves or vacuum are intended to remove the air that can significantly reduce the flow. When there are air bags at some point you can get to stop water flow. When there are air bags at some point you can get to stop water flow can also cause errors and measuring gauges and control elements. They also allow air to enter when creating vacuum pressure, as with the sudden stop of a pump or when closing a valve, can cause this negative pressure collapse and crush the pipes. Expulsion valves as intake air valves. Let out the air during the filling process of the pipe, avoiding air pockets which accumulate at high points in the face or overpressure. Air expelled from the pipe at the last instant by an overpressure abrupt arrest flow. So it is important to determine the proper size of each design point and never on. They also allow air to enter during the depression. When to pump, think of a plug or closes a valve. This to avoid a vacuum with negative effects such as the collapse of the pipe or the entry of impurities and drippers, product of the suction. Bleed valves. Once the system is full, the water pushes the float. This plug presses into the hole and closes the suction cap. As air is accumulated on the top of the cap, develops sufficient pressure to displace the water to below. The float remains in the place until the weight exceeds the buoyancy acting on it. At the moment the float drops, and excess air is exhausted to atmosphere. After leaving the air, push the water back on the float. This closes the cap again and so begins the new cycle. Hydraulic control valve of opening with V-port. The opening V is mounted below the closure disc standard. It is self-aligning with close tolerance fit of the valve seat. The opening in V changes the relative flow rod stroke. Its maiden rod has a carrier grade than the flow disc for the same flow, provides a more accurate response, stable and smooth in the regulation of flow and pressure, while reducing noise and vibration. Its applications are as a pressure reduction valve with high pressure reduction and or flow, as pressure relief are discharged into the atmosphere, and finally as pump control valve from deep wells. This has been a general classification of hydraulic valves. We hope this contribution will be of great utility. Thanks.